Good afternoon. It is 2 o'clock, and I would like to call to order the June 18th meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. They've been in your packet. Are there any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Is there a motion for approval? Please vote. And it passes. Next up is the consent docket. There's 17 items on the consent docket. There's a number of amendments, some contract awards and professional services agreements, and some plans and specifications to be put out for bid. Are there any questions or comments regarding the consent docket or any items you'd like to pull for individual consideration? I do have a question for Mr. Browning. Can you talk to us a little bit about mitigation purchases for wetlands?
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman.
It's item P.
So during the construction of the Atoka pipeline and the related pump stations, there are areas where we would cross during the construction and disturb protected areas like wetlands, or we may have some impact on protected species like the American bearing beetle or the tricolored bat. Those species are along the route. And so we have paid money into a mitigation bank so that if we do come across these areas, then we can use those credits to provide that environmental adjustment appropriately so that we can continue the project. And in this case, it is a forested wetland that we will pass through, and so we'll pay for 3/10 of an acre of forested wetlands through our mitigation credits.
All right, that's interesting, a little bit different. Other questions or comments on the consent docket? Is there a motion for approval? Please vote. And it passes. Nothing on the concurrence docket this afternoon. Item 5 is a emergency construction contract. This is a resolution ratifying the actions of the general manager in declaring an emergency for a water transmission main repair on a large inch diameter line on 4000 South Douglas Boulevard. I guess there's a leaking connection or...
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. There's a fire hydrant lead off of that 54-inch pipe that has a leak. We believe that we can make repairs without turning the main off. That's our hope, because that would absolutely impact a very large area. So we are working on that plan as we speak.
Hopefully that's more than a hope. Hopefully that's a goal.
It's a strong hope and hopefully a goal. We'll see how it turns out.
You can't change a hope to hopefully a goal.
Well,
Okay.
We have not made a repair like this in the past. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. I like your air of confidence.
We have a very strong team engaged in this process.
All right, are there any other questions on the emergency contract? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? And it passes. Item 6, items for individual consideration. This is a resolution acknowledging and waiving the potential, if any, waiving any existing potential conflict of interest with Phillips Murrah as they are entering to represent someone who is in litigation with the City of Edmond.
Mr. Chairman, trustees, the firm of Phillips Murrah represents the Water Trust with regard to the Vatnays case having to do with the Atoka pipeline and also the ASI case. The case that is involved here is just part of the due diligence that Phillips Murrah does when they have a potential conflict. They're representing the City of Edmond and the estate of a deceased police officer with regard to an arrest and an incarceration. And the City of Oklahoma City is also defended in that case. And so in order to, in accordance with their procedures and their conflict of interest process, they asked to disclose that and to have a waiver of any potential conflict.
Do you see a problem, Counselor?
I do not see any problem there or any relationship. It's different attorneys. They have processes in place, and the issues do not relate at all in any way to the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust.
Any questions regarding the item? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? And it passes. Items from trustees, anything this afternoon? General manager reports, Mr. Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lake levels are all in pretty good shape. Draper's down a couple of feet. The rest of the lakes are
How far was Draper down last year at this time? It was down like 8, wasn't it?
7, 8 feet.
7, 8 feet?
And so we're in pretty good shape right now. The Proforma has a little bit of a twist. So we transitioned from PeopleSoft to Oracle, and we also updated our SAP billing system at the same time. And so we had some challenges in the transition, and so we have just now been able to absolutely reconcile our accounts. So all along, we've been tracking without certain validation that our expenses and our revenues were on track, and we have validated that they are on track, so we're in good shape. So I just wanted to let everybody know, we had a few challenges along the way. And then I would be remiss if I didn't wish our esteemed counselor happy birthday in a few days. So happy birthday. And also, our staff did a great job again. So thank you very much for all that you do. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Mr. Browning? I'm not aware of any citizens to be heard this afternoon. Therefore, we are adjourned.